Sometimes in life, we feel compelled to speak, to explain, to justify, to seek sympathy. But brothers and sisters, there is profound wisdom in silence. Allah, in His infinite knowledge, teaches us that not everything needs to be shared, not every struggle requires an explanation. The Qur'an reminds us, indeed, Allah is with those who fear Him and those who are doers of good. Surah An-Nahl 16:128. This fear, this mindfulness begins with restraint. Restraint in our words, restraint in our actions, and above all, restraint in our impulses to demand immediate answers. When we choose not to speak, we create a sacred space for Allah to act. How often have we spoken hastily, trying to force outcomes, only to face disappointment? Silence allows Allah to orchestrate what words alone cannot achieve. It is in the quiet moments, the patient pauses, that Allah's perfect plan unfolds. Imagine a seed buried in darkness, unseen, unheard, yet slowly transforming beneath the soil. Just like that seed, our suppressed hopes, our patient prayers, and our silent tears are nurtured by Allah's mercy, preparing to bloom at the perfect time. Trusting Allah's plan, especially when life feels uncertain, is one of the greatest acts of faith. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us that what reaches us is already written, and what is written cannot be avoided. There is a subtle but undeniable power in surrendering our words and worries to Him. When we stop trying to control every detail, we open our hearts to observe Allah's signs, the gentle nudges, the doors that open unexpectedly, the relief that comes from unimaginable sources. These signs may be small at first, a whisper in the heart, a sudden opportunity, a comforting verse in the Qur'an, but they carry immense significance for those who are patient and watchful. Consider the stories of the prophets. Prophet Yusuf Joseph, for instance, he endured betrayal, imprisonment, and years of silence in hardship. Yet through it all, Allah's plan was working in ways he could not see at the time. When the time was right, Yusuf's patience and faith transformed his life, bringing honor, reunion, and fulfillment of divine wisdom. Each of us has our own Yusuf moments, tests that seem endless, prayers that appear unanswered, and struggles that feel isolating. But if we trust, if we stop speaking in haste and wait with sincerity, we will see Allah's response in ways beyond imagination. We must also remember the power of observation. In silence, we begin to notice the blessings already present, the subtle ways Allah provides, and the beauty of His plan weaving through our lives. Perhaps it is a new friend who arrives unexpectedly, a solution appearing where none was possible, or a lesson learned in patience that prepares us for future success. These are Allah's signs, placed carefully for those who choose to watch rather than speak. Brothers and sisters, this is not just about waiting, it is about preparing our hearts, our intentions, and our actions to receive the blessings Allah has destined for us. By holding our tongues and strengthening our trust, we are aligning ourselves with divine timing. Imagine the relief, the joy, the fulfillment that comes when Allah responds, not in the chaos of our words, but in the precision of His perfect timing. Do not underestimate the quiet power of patience and faith. Do not underestimate what Allah can do when we choose to speak less and trust more. Every hardship carries within it the seed of blessing. Every delay is a sign of meticulous preparation, and every moment of silence is an invitation to witness Allah's wisdom unfold in ways we could never orchestrate on our own. Sometimes in life, we feel an urgent need to speak, to explain ourselves, to seek understanding, or to make others recognize our struggles. Yet there is an immense power in restraint, a wisdom in silence that many of us overlook. Silence is not emptiness, it is a form of strength, a vessel through which patience, reflection, and trust in Allah can flow. In moments of silence, our hearts have the space to communicate directly with our Creator, without the distractions of words, judgment, or opinions. The Quran reminds us, "And do not walk upon the earth exultantly. Indeed, you will never tear the earth apart, and you will never reach the mountains in height." Surah Al-Isra 17:37. This verse, while addressing arrogance, also teaches the beauty of humility and restraint, understanding that not everything is ours to control, and not every matter requires verbal expression. When we restrain ourselves from speaking unnecessarily, we create a sacred space where Allah can act in ways beyond our perception. Words, when hasty, can limit outcomes and invite misunderstandings, but silence allows events to unfold naturally, guided by divine wisdom. Every time we feel the urge to explain, to justify, or to demand attention, we should pause and consider, will these words change what Allah has decreed? Often our impulses stem from impatience, from a desire to force results rather than waiting for Allah's perfect timing. Choosing silence in such moments is an act of deep faith, a quiet submission to Allah's knowledge and power. Consider the imagery of a seed buried in the dark soil. It is unseen, unheard, and seemingly inactive. Yet beneath the surface, transformation is taking place. The seed gathers nutrients, strengthens its roots, and prepares to bloom at the perfect moment. Similarly, when we embrace silence, our prayers, our intentions, and our struggles are nurtured invisibly by Allah's mercy. Our patient endurance in the unseen, quiet moments allows divine wisdom to weave solutions and blessings that would have been impossible to achieve through words alone. Silence also sharpens our awareness, allowing us to observe the signs and blessings Allah places before us. In a world filled with noise, both external and internal, speaking incessantly can drown out the subtle nudges and guidance from Allah. By restraining our speech, we become more attuned to His signs, the unexpected opportunities, the comforting verses, the gentle reminders that appear at just the right time. Our lives are filled with these quiet miracles, but they are often missed by those who cannot pause, those who are too busy justifying themselves or seeking validation. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, exemplified this profound wisdom through his own practice. He often chose restraint, speaking only when necessary, and he reminded his companions that a wise person is one who controls his tongue and restrains from unnecessary talk. By doing so, he demonstrated that patience and reflection often produce results far greater than haste and impulsiveness. There is an elegance in silence, a dignity that comes from trusting Allah to respond and act in ways beyond human comprehension. Real-life examples abound. Think of someone silently enduring a difficult trial, refusing to complain or seek sympathy, yet consistently turning to Allah in prayer. Over time, doors open that seemed impossible, solutions appear where none were visible, and blessings manifest in unexpected ways. The one who restrains from speaking does not remain powerless, rather they are empowered in the most profound sense, empowered by trust, by patience, and by alignment with Allah's perfect plan. Silence also protects the heart and relationships. Hasty words can create friction, resentment, and misunderstandings, while measured restraint preserves dignity and fosters harmony. It is an act of wisdom to hold back words when emotions run high, to listen more than we speak, and to seek Allah's guidance in shaping our responses. In doing so, we not only protect our hearts, but also cultivate a space where divine intervention can take root and flourish. Trusting Allah's plan, especially in moments when life feels uncertain or overwhelming, is one of the most challenging yet rewarding aspects of faith. Human beings are naturally inclined to seek control over their circumstances, to plan every detail, and to demand immediate results. Yet the reality of life is that our understanding is limited, our vision narrow, and our timing often flawed. Allah in His infinite wisdom knows what is best for us, when it is best for us, and how it should unfold. The Qur'an reassures us, and it may be that you dislike a thing while it is good for you, and it may be that you love a thing while it is bad for you, and Allah knows, while you know not. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:216. These words remind us that what we perceive as delays, setbacks, or unanswered prayers may in reality be the very preparation we need for greater blessings. Trusting Allah's plan does not mean passive waiting. It means active patience, sincere prayer, and continuous effort, while surrendering the ultimate outcome to Him. Imagine a traveler lost in the desert, exhausted and desperate for water. Every step feels uncertain, every direction seems unclear, yet the traveler continues forward with faith, trusting that guidance will come, knowing that Allah sees every need and every struggle. In the same way, when we align our actions with sincerity and patience, Allah's guidance becomes apparent in ways that exceed human expectation. Sometimes the guidance comes in the form of sudden opportunities, sometimes as subtle signs that redirect our path, and sometimes as a calm assurance in our hearts that we are not alone. There is also a profound beauty in witnessing Allah's timing unfold. Often when we rush or demand immediate outcomes, we miss the greater purpose behind the delay. Like a craftsman who takes time to shape a masterpiece, Allah carefully orchestrates every detail of our lives. Every encounter, every challenge, every pause is part of a divine blueprint. Consider the story of Prophet Musa, Moses, peace be upon him, who faced trials that seemed impossible, including fleeing his homeland, facing the Pharaoh, and guiding his people. At every step, His trust in Allah's plan allowed him to persevere and witness miracles that no one could have imagined. The key lesson is that unwavering trust, even when the path is unclear, prepares the heart for Allah's intervention in ways that speaking, complaining, or forcing outcomes never could. Real-life examples of trust in Allah's plan are abundant. Think of someone who has faced career setbacks, health challenges, or relationship difficulties. At first, these moments may feel like failure, isolation, or divine neglect. Yet when they choose patience over frustration, silence over unnecessary explanation, and faith over fear, doors begin to open unexpectedly. Perhaps a new opportunity arises, a healing process begins, or a person crosses their path who changes their trajectory entirely. These outcomes are rarely immediate or obvious, but they demonstrate that Allah's plan is far more comprehensive and perfect than our limited perspective allows. Trusting Allah also brings peace in the present moment. When we stop resisting what is happening, stop over-explaining ourselves, and stop comparing our journey to others, our hearts find a calm, rooted in certainty. It is in this stillness that we can truly observe Allah's signs and appreciate His blessings. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught that contentment and reliance on Allah are among the keys to a fulfilled life, reminding us that true security does not come from controlling every outcome, but from trusting the one who controls everything. As we place our trust in Allah, it transforms our perspective. Challenges are no longer obstacles, but opportunities for growth. Delays are no longer disappointments, but periods of preparation. Unanswered prayers become moments for reflection and deepening faith. Every experience, every hardship, and every silence is infused with divine purpose, waiting for us to witness the perfection of Allah's plan. Through patience, observation, and unwavering trust, observing Allah's signs and subtle guidance is a form of faith that transforms the way we experience life. Many of us focus so intently on speaking, explaining, and trying to control outcomes that we fail to notice the quiet ways Allah communicates with us. His guidance is often gentle, subtle, and disguised in ordinary events that, if ignored, may seem meaningless. The Qur'an reminds us, indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of the night and the day, are signs for those of understanding. Surah Al-Imran 3:190. These signs are everywhere around us, woven into the very fabric of existence, yet they require patience, mindfulness, and an attentive heart to perceive. When we slow down, refrain from speaking impulsively, and quiet our minds, we begin to see patterns, coincidences, and occurrences that reveal Allah's hand in our lives. Perhaps it is a verse that speaks directly to your heart at the precise moment you need reassurance, or an unexpected message that arrives just when you feel lost. It may be a meeting with a stranger whose advice changes your path, or a sudden closure of a door that ultimately protects you from harm. These are Allah's signs, sometimes subtle and sometimes unmistakable, but always perfectly timed. The ability to recognize these signs requires cultivating awareness and patience. Life is full of distractions that cloud perception, endless noise, constant communication, and the compulsion to explain ourselves. Yet when we step back, observe quietly, and allow events to unfold, we notice the intricacy of Allah's design. A small act of kindness, a seemingly random encounter, or a moment of clarity in prayer may carry within it a message far greater than words could convey. Each sign is a reminder that we are not alone, that our struggles are known, and that Allah is constantly guiding us toward what is best for our ultimate good. Consider the natural world as an example. The rising and setting of the sun, the precise rhythm of the seasons, the harmony in ecosystems, all are signs of Allah's wisdom and power. These patterns remind us that everything in the universe is perfectly ordered, and if He maintains such balance on a cosmic scale, He can certainly orchestrate the details of our lives in ways we cannot yet comprehend. Observing these signs instills humility, reinforces trust, and strengthens the soul, allowing us to rely not on our limited understanding, but on Allah's perfect knowledge. Real-life experiences often reflect this principle. Someone struggling with a personal challenge may feel despair, only to discover a solution through a chain of events they never anticipated. Perhaps a lost opportunity is replaced by a better one, or a difficult person's intervention leads to an unexpected blessing. These moments often appear random, but for the attentive heart, they are unmistakable signs of divine guidance. By choosing to listen, to watch, and to reflect instead of constantly explaining or defending ourselves, we allow Allah to direct the course of our lives with precision and care. The Prophet Muhammad,
peace be upon him, also demonstrated the importance of observing signs. He noticed subtleties in human behavior, natural occurrences, and moments of reflection that revealed deeper truths. His life teaches us that faith is not only expressed through prayer and action, but also through awareness and perception. Recognizing Allah's signs requires patience, attentiveness, and the humility to accept that His plan surpasses our understanding. By training ourselves to see and appreciate these signs, we cultivate a form of spiritual insight that transforms our relationship with the world. Life becomes a series of interconnected events, each carrying meaning, each pointing toward Allah's wisdom, and each encouraging us to trust, to wait, and to remain silent in our eagerness to control outcomes. Observing these signs is not passive. It is an active engagement of the heart, a conscious effort to discern Allah's guidance, and a practice that strengthens our connection with Him in ways that words alone could never achieve. Real-life examples of divine timing and intervention provide some of the clearest illustrations of Allah's wisdom in our lives. While we often rely on our own plans and immediate understanding, Allah's guidance frequently arrives in ways that surpass human imagination. When we pause, trust and observe, we begin to recognize that nothing in our lives is accidental. Every meeting, every opportunity, every delay carries with it a purpose, a lesson and a blessing, even if it is not immediately apparent. The Qur'an reminds us, and it may be that you dislike a thing which is good for you, and it may be that you love a thing which is bad for you, and Allah knows, while you know not. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:216. This verse underscores the reality that divine timing often differs from human expectations, yet it is always perfect. Consider the story of Prophet Joseph, peace be upon him, whose life was a series of trials that tested patience, trust and resilience. Betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and imprisoned, Yusuf's circumstances seemed dire at every turn. Yet each hardship was a step in Allah's plan, carefully orchestrated to bring about eventual triumph, reconciliation, and the fulfillment of his destiny. Yusuf's unwavering patience and trust in Allah allowed him to navigate each challenge, demonstrating that divine intervention often works quietly and invisibly, preparing the way for outcomes far greater than immediate desires or understanding. In our own lives, similar patterns emerge. A student who fails an important exam may initially feel despair, yet that failure could redirect them toward a career path they had never considered, one that ultimately fulfills their purpose more fully. A person who faces rejection in a relationship may, after time and reflection, meet someone whose companionship aligns perfectly with their values and faith. Even the smallest signs, a timely word of advice, a chance encounter, or a moment of inspiration, can have ripple effects that transform entire trajectories. These examples teach us that Allah's timing is precise, and His interventions often surpass the limitations of human foresight. The beauty of observing divine timing is that it instills hope and patience. When we witness a sequence of events unfold in a way that resolves a problem we could not have managed alone, it strengthens our faith and reinforces the importance of silence, trust and surrender. Speaking hastily, or attempting to force outcomes, can disrupt this process, while patient observation allows Allah's wisdom to manifest fully. In moments of waiting, the heart learns resilience, the mind cultivates clarity, and the soul experiences peace, knowing that the one who controls the universe also guides the details of our personal journeys. Moreover, these real-life interventions are often subtle, yet profound. Perhaps it is a delay in a job application that leads to a better opportunity, or a postponed travel plan that prevents harm. It could be a friend who disappears for a time, only to return with support, guidance, or a solution at a critical moment. Life is filled with such examples, and they reveal the seamless nature of Allah's orchestration when we are willing to remain patient and observant. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, demonstrated this principle throughout his life, relying on Allah's guidance in every decision, big or small, and showing that trust in divine timing is an essential element of true faith. Understanding and internalizing these examples transforms our approach to challenges and uncertainties. We begin to view setbacks as opportunities, delays as preparation, and trials as signals of a greater plan unfolding. Each moment of hardship, each unanswered question, each period of silence becomes a teaching, a test, and a step toward witnessing Allah's intervention. By observing how Allah operates in real-life circumstances, we gain both inspiration and reassurance, realizing that His plan is always more perfect than our imagination, and His timing more precise than our urgency could ever anticipate. Preparing for the blessings that Allah has in store requires more than passive hope. It requires active patience, conscious effort, and sincere devotion. Often we focus so intensely on what we want or expect that we forget to ready ourselves for the blessings when they arrive. Allah's favor is not merely about timing, it is also about our readiness to receive it. The Quran reminds us, but those who patiently persevere will truly receive a reward without measure. Surah Az-Zumar 39:10. This patience is not passive waiting, it is a deliberate cultivation of faith, trust, and spiritual awareness, ensuring that when Allah's opens the doors of mercy, we are fully prepared to step through them. Preparation begins with the heart. When we nurture sincerity, gratitude, and humility, we create a vessel capable of holding the weight of divine blessings. Imagine a cup being filled with water. If the cup is cracked, tilted, or overflowing with debris, it cannot hold the water properly. Similarly, a heart burdened with impatience, complaints, or excessive reliance on worldly solutions cannot fully appreciate or retain the gifts Allah bestows. By cleansing the heart through prayer, reflection, and reliance on Allah, we ensure that the blessings arriving at the perfect time are received with gratitude, understanding, and the ability to utilize them in ways that benefit not just ourselves, but those around us. Preparation also involves aligning our actions with our intentions. It is not enough to wait silently, we must strive, work sincerely, and maintain good character, while relying on Allah for outcomes. When we pair effort with trust, we position ourselves for the realization of our goals in a manner consistent with divine wisdom. For example, a student who studies diligently, prays sincerely, and maintains patience is more likely to succeed when opportunities arise, because they have prepared their mind, their skills, and their spirit. Likewise, someone facing personal challenges, whether in relationships, career, or health, prepares for Allah's blessings by continuing to do good, remain patient, and trust in His guidance, creating fertile ground for His intervention. The natural world offers further insight into the process of preparation. Consider the way farmers plant seeds, water the soil, and patiently wait for the harvest. They cannot force growth, no matter how much they desire it. Their role is to prepare the land, nurture the seeds, and trust in the natural timing of growth. Similarly, Allah often prepares the circumstances and aligns the elements of our lives to deliver blessings at the precise moment. Our role is to remain patient, continue righteous action, and cultivate readiness, knowing that the timing, outcome, and perfection of the blessings are in Allah's hands. Real-life experiences vividly illustrate this principle. Someone enduring a period of hardship may feel that nothing is changing, yet small steps, acts of kindness, prayers, patience in adversity, and sincere effort are quietly preparing them for a breakthrough. Perhaps a new opportunity will present itself just as they have refined their skills, strengthened their resolve, or developed a greater understanding of life. Perhaps a solution to a long-standing problem will arrive as they have developed the patience and wisdom necessary to handle it responsibly. These moments reveal that preparation is often invisible, gradual, and internal, yet it is essential for receiving the full measure of Allah's blessings. Finally, preparation involves trust and surrender. It is recognizing that our efforts alone are insufficient without Allah's support, and that every moment of patience, every act of devotion, and every silent prayer contributes to readiness for what He has planned. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, exemplified this principle throughout his life, demonstrating how patience, sincere effort, and unwavering trust in Allah prepare one to receive the most profound blessings. In doing so, we learn that preparation is not merely about anticipating outcomes. It is about transforming ourselves so that when Allah delivers His mercy, we are ready to embrace it fully, to act upon it wisely, and to appreciate it with a heart attuned to gratitude and awe.